Assalamu alaikum to my dear students. Uh, I'm going to start with this is Miss Farheen, your science teacher, and I'm going to start the second part of my first video. The chapter that we are going to do today is Adaptations in Animals. Page number 60 we are going to start with today. Unit 3, The World of the Living. Chapter 8, Adaptations in Animals. Page number 60. So today we are going to continue with this chapter from page number 60. Video I asked all of you to do an activity to find out some migratory birds that travel to Pakistan. So if you remember that, so today firstly I'm going to discuss about that activity. Migratory birds. Last time also we discussed that migratory birds are those birds that travel to warmer places during winters. They cannot survive in that climate, so they travel to the nearby place. In some of the migratory birds that travel to Pakistan, if you can see, this is great crested grape, then red tail tropic bird, if you can see the tail which is red in color, flamingo, Bakel teal, European bee eater, steep eagle, this is a falcon, Siberian crane. They are crane, but they travel from Siberia, so they are known as Siberian crane. And this is sarus. In animals, in the previous video we already discussed about that what is adaptation. Adaptation is a natural process by which animals adjust to their surroundings. Then I already told you that we are going to discuss three parts in it: adaptations to habitat, then adaptations to be safe, then adaptations in feeding, adaptations for food. So today we are going to discuss more about today with arboreal animals. We already discussed about terrestrial animals. Today we are going to start from arboreal animals. Arboreal animals are those which spend a lot of time on trees, and the famous one that you can see in the picture, it's a monkey. So monkey used to spend a lot of time on trees. Even there are some snakes also that spend a lot of time on trees. Okay, so start now coming up to aerial animals. Animals that can fly in the air. With the word aerial, that fly in the air. So birds and bats fly in the air. Birds have wings to fly with. That we all know very clearly. We have seen birds having the wings. They also have hollow bones. Hollow bones, the way that we already discussed when we were doing adaptation in plants. Hollow means which is empty from inside, right? So they also have hollow bones, and these hollow bones actually make their body light and help them to fly. So that is the reason why these bones are not fully filled up. They are empty from inside. They are hard from outside, and they actually make their body very light so they can easily fly in the air. Then bats. Coming to the bats, bats are not birds actually. They are mammals, and mammals, as we know that mammals are those animals that feed their babies with milk. So they are actually mammals. They do not have true wings. Their wings are made up of flaps of skin. Okay, if you can see in the picture also that their skin is actually is designed in a way that they are converted in, they look like wings, but they are actually their skin. Insects also have wings, and which help them to fly. If you have seen some insects like butterfly, they also have wings to fly with. Butterflies have two pairs of wings actually, so they also help them to fly. So all these animals that can fly in the air, they are known as aerial animals. So now coming to the next part, adaptations in habitat. We are going to discuss about aquatic animals. We have already discussed aquatic plants, the plants that live in water. The same way animals that live in water are known as aquatic animals, animals that live in water. So because they are living in the water, so they have a certain kind of adaptation. They're different, they have a different feature in them that let them survive in the water. Fishes, crabs, seals, and seahorses are some of the animals that live in water. To survive over there, to move over there, fish have fins to swim with. They swim with the help of fins, and their fins are of different types, paired and unpaired, that we're going to discuss in inshallah in year 5. So fish have fins to swim with. Similarly, turtles, seals, and dolphins have flippers to swim in water. If you can see in the picture, the turtle, it has a flipper, kind of a thing which help them to swim in water. Then ducks and swans have webbed feet to paddle in water. If you in the picture, it's very visible, the webbed feet. So there's these kind of feet which actually help them to paddle in water. If you have seen ducks, they used to paddle. They do not dip inside the water, but they paddle in the water. So these padded feet help them to paddle in the water. And then coming to a different thing is that about the breathing thing, because as you already know that oxygen get dissolved in water. This we discussed when we were doing aquatic plants, that the oxygen get dissolved in water. There is no oxygen inside, there is no air inside the water. The actually oxygen, they take in the water inside their mouth, and through that water they had oxygen in them, and through that they can breathe in. So they have very special kind of feature which we call as gills. So fish, animals like fish, prawn, and crab, they have gills to breathe, to breathe oxygen dissolved in water. So they have this feature in them. But there are some aquatic animals like whales and dolphins. They are actually mammals. So they are mammals, but they live inside water. So what do? They do not have gills, they have lungs like us. Now how they do that? Lungs help them to breathe. So what do? They breathe, take the water inside, they take the oxygen from it, and they want to breathe out. So what do? They have a blowhole. This I discussed with you when we were discussing aquatic plants, that these whales have blowhole. If you can see in the picture, it's a hole, and they hold their breath inside the water, and after that some time they have a very strong breathing capacity. So what do when they want to breathe out? They come out of the surface of the water, and they breathe out through this blowhole, and this blowhole have water on top of it. So we, as when we see them, we see that they're taking out water, but actually they're not taking out water from the blowhole. They're actually releasing the carbon dioxide, and the water on top of it, it blows out. So this is how the whales and dolphins breathe. They breathe through lungs by following this process. Okay, so you have to remember that fish have fins to swim, turtles, seals, and dolphins have flippers, ducks and swans have webbed feet, And for the breathing thing, fish, prawn and crab have gills, whereas whales and dolphins breathe through lungs. So now the last animals that we are going to discuss according to their habitat is amphibians. Amphibians are those animals which live both on water, in water and land. Okay. These animals, because they used to live on both water and land, so their body structure is a bit different from other animals. So frogs, toads, salamander, there are some of the amphibians, and you can see other animals also in the picture. These are also some of the amphibians. So what happens that uh, tadpoles are actually baby frogs. They grow in water and therefore they have gills for breathing. But when these tadpoles grow as an adult frog, so they have lungs then to breathe in on land. But when they are in the water, they breathe through their skin. So their skins have features that help them to breathe inside the water. They also that is a feature that is adaptation that they have. So similarly, there are frogs living in. Frogs have webbed hind feet. The hind feet means the back ones, not the front one. The back feet to swim in water. Remember we discussed about ducks. They also have webbed. So they're also, but their only hind feet are webbed, and that's help them to swim in water. So amphibians are those animals that live both on water and land, and these are some of the examples of amphibians. So that's all for today. Um, we are done with adaptations to habitat with the first part of the chapter. Now we are going to do in the next videos, we are going to discuss about the second part, adaptations for food, and then adapting to be safe. So there are two topics left. We are going to discuss that in the upcoming video. For today, the activity that you're going to do is, now you know on page number 62, which is a very easy one. There are some fill in the blanks, so you need to fill them up, and I'm going to discuss that in the next video. Mountain goats are dash footed. Then snakes move by pushing against the ground with their what? Then the last one, turtles have dash to swim in the water. So this three small cute nice fill in the blanks you're going to solve, and I'm going to discuss the answers in the next video, inshallah. So that's all for today. The video is ended over here. We are going to discuss the remaining other topics in the next video. Till then, Allah Hafiz everyone. Take care.